Thanks for quitting. Emily sneered and looked at me. I just silently stared back at Emily. It's about cutting labor costs. We don't need a hag who exploits overtime pay at our company. Tom seemed pleased too. A week later, I kept getting calls from the company. Hello, as soon as I answered, the president spoke. Who exactly are you? I laughed mockingly at the president's words. I am Lily Johnson. I turned 59 this year. I've been working at this company for 37 years since graduating from college. Our company is staffed with administrative scriveners, social insurance labor consultants, and tax accountants handling clerical work for our clients. This is especially popular with company presidents who run their businesses alone. These presidents are busy with sales and lack the time for clerical work, so our company takes care of it for them. I belong to the tax department. I got my bookkeeping and tax accountant qualifications during my school days. That's why I joined this company. Now I'm managing 45 clients, which keeps me quite busy. Even though a part-timer handles the accounting entries, it's still overwhelming. But I can't show any weakness. Our clients are all long-term relationships, and many of them have had their fair share of hardships. Seeing them face adversity, I feel I can't lose either. So here I am in front of my computer again today. Lately, I've been troubled. Tom and Emily have been subjecting me to insidious harassment. Tom, 7 years younger than me, is the head of the tax department. He used to be just a regular colleague, but his attitude changed drastically 3 months ago when he got promoted. He used to speak politely, but suddenly he started talking down to me. Lily, what are you doing? You've got some nerves slacking off during work hours. He's always either sarcastic or complaining. I'm looking at documents for tax-saving strategies for our clients. Even when I retort, Tom remains unfazed. Just check the manual for that. Don't do anything unnecessary. And if you end up working overtime, don't expect to get paid for it. Tom glared at me with those words. Unable to respond, Emily, Tom's assistant, chimed in, Lily, you should work more efficiently. At this rate, you'll never finish. That's why you're still a rank-and-file employee. Emily laughed mockingly. I was the first to be offered the promotion to department head, but I declined. At the time, becoming a head meant more time for management and less for client interaction. However, it was an internal offer, so Tom and Emily don't know about it. I'll make sure to complete my regular duties as well. That was all I could manage to say. Still, Tom and Emily's harassment continued. You're increasing overtime again. What a waste of overtime. Tom's angry voice echoed again today. Lily, cut it out. Your constant overtime is dragging down the whole tax department's performance. Emily sighed as she spoke. The reason for yesterday's overtime was simple. Tom had accumulated a month's worth of declaration forms to be filed by the end of the month. After work yesterday, Tom suddenly said, "Take care of these." He left several client files on my desk. I turned pale when I saw the files. Wait, these all have deadlines this month, right? As I said this in confusion, Tom was already nowhere near. Looking for him, I saw he was already packing up at his desk. I'm heading out. Take care with that. Tom quickly left the office. Good luck. Emily followed Tom out, laughing mockingly. Unbelievable. I sighed and opened the client files left on my desk. Moreover, some of the files were Emily's responsibility. I sighed even deeper. I knew why Tom was harassing me because they wanted me to retire quickly. I have more experience and deeper knowledge in taxation than him. As a result, other members of the tax department come to me with their questions instead of Tom. There are other reasons why everyone avoids Tom. He looks greasy and unapproachable. The only female employee who stays near him is Emily. Tom likes young women. That's probably why he wants me to retire. to get the other female employees to rely on him more. It's such shallow thinking it gives me chills. There's also the fact that he simply doesn't like me. Emily was harassing me to curry favor with Tom. Tom is the one who evaluates the performance of the tax department, so she probably wanted to undermine me to get a good evaluation from him. Anyway, I have to manage these declarations. Not only do I have to prepare the tax declarations for my assigned companies, but it looks like I won't be able to finish today's work either. But if I try to claim overtime, I'll just get complaints from Tom and Emily. I resign myself to unpaid overtime. Then one day I was suddenly called to the president's office. Our company had just had a change of president. Originally, the president's father had been managing the company since its founding, and it had only recently been handed over to his son. The son had always worked at another company and still wasn't fully acquainted with our company. But it couldn't be helped since the former president had suddenly fallen ill and he had to take over. "Excuse me," as soon as I entered the president's office, I noticed Tom and Emily, and for some reason they both had unpleasant smirks on their faces. Why are Tom and the others here? I muttered quietly enough that no one else would hear. In this tense and strange atmosphere, the president spoke. "Lily, we'll need you to resign by the end of this month." "Excuse me, what do you mean?" I asked the president, my mind in a whirl. I heard from Tom and Emily. "You've been overbilling for overtime, right? Other members of the tax department have only about 15 hours of overtime per month, but Lily, you're already over 80 hours. Don't you find that odd? Tom and Emily have 0 overtime this month. Impressive, right?" The president looked at me sternly. The reason my overtime was so high this month was that I was doing Tom and Emily's work. But if I said it was Tom's instructions, it would seem like my own inability to manage time. So I just stated the facts. I haven't overbuilt for overtime. It's a result of not being able to finish my work within regular hours. Then the president sighed deeply. "I'm doubtful, but there's no evidence, so I won't pursue it further. However, we can't continue to employ someone who works that slowly, so I want you to resign." The president's mind seemed made up. Me being told to leave the company I had dedicated my entire 37-year career to. I was tired too. No matter how much more I did beyond my own work, it was never appreciated. Instead, I ended up having to take on Tom and Emily's work as well. "Yes, I understand. I'll resign at the end of this month." I realized I had already said that to the president. I glanced at Tom and Emily. They were smiling vulgarly, looking very pleased. After leaving the president's office with the 3 of them, Emily looked at me and said, "Thanks for quitting." Emily sneered and looked at me. I just silently stared back at Emily. Tom also looked down on me in the same way. "We're cutting labor costs. We don't need a hag who exploits overtime pay in our company." Tom seemed pleased too. While watching the 2 of them talk so cheerily, I thought about the handover process and then started creating the handover documents for all my clients. Of course, I didn't miss saying goodbye to the people I was handing over to. I tried to get an appointment with the president to say goodbye in person. For the presidents I couldn't meet, I sent letters and informed them of my successor. A week after I resigned, I was relaxing at home. I had been busy with the handover until my resignation, and I had been extremely busy even before that. A little relaxation shouldn't be a problem. As I was thinking this, my mobile phone rang. When I checked the call, it was from the company. What could they want now? I made sure to take care of the social insurance procedures. I didn't answer the phone, but then the company called several more times. In fact, I had also received several calls from Tom and Emily's personal mobile phones. Maybe they thought I'd answer if it was from the company. Reluctantly, I decided to answer. "Hello, Lily. It's a mess right now." As soon as I answered, the president spoke. "Who exactly are you?" I laughed mockingly at the president's words. Who am I? Just an unemployed lady. I've resigned from the company and I'm nothing else. Right then, the president spoke urgently. Since Lily left, we've had 49 calls to stop transactions with the company. Please come back to the company immediately. The president said his piece and hung up. He must be really panicked. I guess I have no choice. I got up reluctantly and headed to the company. As soon as I arrived, Tom and Emily were waiting. Both of their faces were pale. They both had dark circles under their eyes. What's wrong with both of you? I asked, surprised at their drastic change in appearance. Then Tom glared at me and said, since then we've been getting calls, one after another, to stop transactions. Not just from your clients, but from prospective companies we were planning to introduce. What did you do? Emily also looked at me with suspicion. I never thought Lily would do something so underhanded. I'm truly disillusioned. The reason they both looked so haggard was probably due to dealing with the cancellations. Probably the body. Of course, I hadn't done anything to the clients, but I had a guess why they were canceling their transactions. Well, get to the president's office now. I was then taken to the president's office by Tom. President, I brought her, Tom declared with force as he opened the door. Emily followed in a hurry. Oh, I've been waiting, the president looked me in the eyes as he spoke. Tom accused me as if I was the culprit. It appears that Lily was involved in the cessation of transactions with our clients. We should not only make her resign, but also sue her for damages, Emily argued vehemently, though her language was careful in front of the president. The president ignored them and asked me, why did so many companies stop transactions after Lily left? I took a deep breath and answered clearly, don't you understand? Our clients don't need us to manage their taxes. There are tax accountant firms that do it cheaper. Yet they continued with us because I was here. Tom snapped at me. What's with that attitude towards the president? And you think you're worth that much? Emily also taunted, there's no way. It has to be Lily. The president looked serious. Tom and Emily work based on the manual, optimizing operations. But I do more than that. I offer tax-saving strategies tailored to our client situations. Uniform responses don't always serve the client's best interests. In fact, many clients preferred my approach and stayed because of it. Tom got angry at my explanation. How can we afford to give such detailed attention to each case? It takes too much time. That's right. It's inefficient, Emily strongly agreed. Then the president sighed deeply and said, actually, I just got a call from Dad, the former president. Some of the clients who stopped transactions had gone directly to Dad to negotiate about Lily. I was surprised to hear this. I hadn't expected the clients to go that far for me. Dad said that the tax department was viable because of Lily. She not only managed her clients but also supported her colleagues' clients. And she has knowledge that Tom can't match. Dad also said that if Lily hadn't declined, she would have been in a higher position than a department head by now. The president spoke with a pained expression. No way, Emily looked shocked. She probably couldn't believe I might have been her boss. The president continued, I'm really sorry to have made you resign once, but can we revoke your resignation, Lily? You're needed at our company. My father also strongly said so. I was honestly happy about the president's changed opinion, but I couldn't accept it. Then Tom interrupted our conversation. President, what do you mean? She's better than me. I can't accept this. Tom was visibly upset. Emily did the same. Please, I don't want to be fired. I'll apologize to Lily and the others for dumping work on them. Emily was on the verge of tears, realizing the severity of being fired for neglecting work and having an affair with a supervisor. She must have been worried about her reputation. I advised Tom and them, "Why don't you just stop resisting? It's undignified." Tom glared at me. "Shut up. What would a single person like you understand?" I sighed and said, "Tom, you were the one who got me fired. It's just karma. What goes around comes around. Why don't you take some responsibility and reflect a bit?" "Damn it." Tom looked frustrated. Emily bit her lip. "I haven't reported this yet, but there's more to Tom and Emily's misconduct." "Should I share more details?" I asked the president with a smile. Tom and Emily's behavior was well known in the tax department. Their stories had reached me whether I liked it or not. "No, please don't. Lily, stop." Both were frantically trying to stop me. I gave them an ultimatum. Wrongdoings eventually come to light. It would be better for you to face reality before it gets worse. At my words, both of them collapsed to their knees. Ultimately, Tom and Emily were fired on the spot. I revealed their misdeeds afterward. These included Tom faking business trips to go out with Emily for days and harassing employees they disliked into quitting. I tried to help those employees, but Tom and Emily's tactics were insidious. They repeatedly reprimanded and pressured employees out of my sight. It was also common for them to suddenly assign work with tight deadlines. The employees who resigned asked me to keep quiet, but now they are happily working at other companies. So I decided it was okay to speak up. The president was furious at my revelation. He expressed his anger about cutting their final salary. He also plans to thoroughly investigate past inflated expense claims. Tom was begging the president, tears in his eyes, "Please don't cut my salary. What will I tell my family if they find out?" Eventually, Tom and Emily's affair was exposed to Tom's wife. Tom ended up getting divorced. The two are now facing claims for compensation in the divorce lawsuit. I know this because for some reason Tom contacted me. "Please, can you persuade the president to reconsider the firing? Emily and I are in a real bind now. Apparently, Tom and Emily are struggling to find new jobs. The tax industry is somewhat insular. If you commit too many misdeeds, word spreads quickly through the industry's network. That's why no one is willing to hire Tom and them. However, they need money for the divorce compensation and living expenses, so now they're working day labor like at construction sites. People used to office work suddenly doing hard labor outdoors must be tough. Emily often calls me crying. "Lily, please help. I just wanted a raise and a better life. I never really liked Tom, and this situation is unbearable," Emily would say, crying. However, Tom and Emily's predicament is their own doing. Many people, including myself, have been victims of their actions. So I told Emily, "This is all your own fault, Emily. You can't unring a bell. It will be hard to return to the same path. You're just going to have to deal with the hardships." "No way." Emily cried out in despair. This was the outcome of Emily's actions. I hope she continues to regret her actions in the future. As for me, I'm still enjoying a relaxed lifestyle away from work. Please come back. The president has been begging for me to return, but I have declined. After being told once to resign, I don't think I'll go back. Sometimes I help out at a friend's tax office to earn a bit of money. Maybe once things settle down, I'll start my own office like my friend. In my own office, no one can complain about my working style. I can fully dedicate myself to my clients. As a tax accountant, I want to be on equal footing with my clients, not as a teacher, but as part of the service industry. My second life has just begun. I'm looking forward to delving into what I want to do next.